Hi, guys. Sorry, because, technical difficulties. Always. I'm sitting there texting Blaze. Blaze, I actually had to text you like 3 times because it wouldn't go through. Always. So, how are you guys? What's up? I gotta ask because I always ask, what's the weather doing? Where are you watching from? Right now, it is 40 something degrees outside, which is, I'm going to use a Lindsay thing here, banana sandwich. 46. It is 46 degrees outside. Y'all, that's insane. Everything is melting. It's honestly terrible because everything is melting. So it's turning into ice because freezing is going to happen again soon. And it is supposed to rain. Last I heard, emus on ice was not a thing for a reason. It's going to be very, very interesting. So hi, Blaze and Raquel and Tom and Barb and Donna. Beautiful day. Yeah, it's all overcast and you go outside and it smells like a pool, like an indoor pool. It's bizarre. There's so much moisture in the air, which I'm sure is why it's going to end up raining later. This year is so weird. It is so weird. It is so bizarre. Tom says 55 degrees in Maryland. Tom, how was your vacation? Are you back home and safe? I got to see this gorgeous indoor, what was it? What was it? I can't think of the word. I can't think of it right now. Oh, windy. No pools here, just lovely weather for winter. Yeah, it smells like an indoor pool outside. It's so bizarre. Barb said getting ready to rain in Ventura County. Good, Tom. I'm glad you're back home safe. Blaze says 77 degrees in Texas. I saw over the next couple of days, it's going to be in the 80s in Florida. It's December. It's the end of December, y'all. This is crazy. I watched the newest Ryan Hall video, and I've been watching some other weather people. They're not my favorite. They're not Ryan, but he hasn't put anything else out, so I had to go searching a little bit. So it's gonna be crazy. Hi, Lisa. Hello, Mr. Tito. Amy and all took the dogs and visiting grandbabies on a muddy walk at lunch. Oh, mud and dogs. Fantastic combination. That's fun. I don't miss the wet dog smell, honestly. It hasn't been bad with this winter. It's been so cold that even my German Shepherds are like, I don't want to. I'm like, good. I'm okay with that. And that's actually the topic I wanted to talk to you guys about. Hello, Briar Rose. Today is, what have you learned? What did you learn with this last couple of weeks? Really weird weather. Emergencies. Some people lost power. Some people got trapped, snowed into their homes from these ridiculous blizzards. I think the death toll is up to 86. Was it 86? Something like that from this last storm. That is so tragic and so frustrating because we can't control the weather. So many times we want to be able to control our situation and think things like, well, just take the carbs out and all of your problems will be gone. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it's a little more complicated than that. But with the weather, I mean, there's like nothing we can do. So I want to know what you guys learned. What I learned personally is that my tarp one was not big enough over my wood pile. So I had to fight through 14 inches of snow that had gotten onto a whole side of my wood pile because the tarp blew up over. It was the wrong size. I'm going to remedy that. I learned that. I have learned a really good way to get the water out to the animals. Um, let me see. I already know how to cook on my wood stove. I actually practiced that last year so that we were very proficient in it. It doesn't take us too long. We know kind of all the tips and the tricks. Um, we never lost power. Thank goodness. We never lost power, although we probably would have been fine had we have a battery backup that we can use that charges when we do have power. And then should we lose power, we can plug the fridge into it. Our large chest freezers are good for 48 hours. And frankly, it's cold enough outside that they would be just fine if we lost power on the ones that are outside. Wendy says, I had 3 snow-covered crazies this morning. Normal weather in Texas, true story. Don't you like the Weather Channel only gets it so right because there's only so much that they can even see coming. I remember that in Texas, it was very similar in Florida. Like you would have all 4 seasons almost minus the snow in a 24-hour period. Absolutely crazy. Wendy said we broke out the kerosene heater and had it running just in case. That actually puts less of a draw on your system. I learned to dress in layers even more than I usually do. Very, very good. I've heard several times this past couple of weeks that there's no such thing as bad weather. There's only bad clothing. And it's absolutely true. The first couple of years that we were on here in Wisconsin in the winter, I was like, how do people like, this is insane. How do you do this? Now we know. Layers is how you do it. Wool honestly can be your absolute best friend because wool gloves, wool socks, they're just next level. They keep the moisture, the water away from you. We had to go out. I went into the emu pen. We were trying to run an extension cord. I think when they laid my fiber, they cut the power line that runs out to the shed. The electric company had come and they had marked all of the wires that they had laid. So I think the stuff to the shed was not laid by them, so it was not marked. So it got run through when they laid my fiber, which isn't actually installed or working yet, but it's on the property. One step closer. So, oh, I hear snow falling off the roof right now. So they cut power out to the pens. So there's no water bucket, nothing that can be run through electricity. So we've been running a couple of extension cords. We had to run another one out to one of the back pens. So I had to walk through the emu pen. There's like 2.5 to 3 feet of snow out there. So I had my tall work boots on and I had my wool. I had a thin pair of cotton socks and then my pant leg. And then I had wool socks that went up over all of that went up to the very top of the boots. I got back inside after trudging around out there and I took off my boots and they were full of snow. I had no idea that my boots were full of snow. It was really cool. And the snow was crusted and caked onto the outside of these wool socks. And my feet were totally fine. So wool socks, wool gloves, 100% wool gloves. If you put on some neoprene or some plastic gloves and then put the wool over them, your hands don't ever get cold. It is absolutely amazing. Because I have some leather gloves that I can put on, but it's just not the same. The wool is absolutely incredible. Oh, hello, people. We broke out. Okay, let me see. Learn to dress in layers. Yeah, same here in Louisiana. Saw a meme today about never storing empty canning jars. Always store them full of water. You can always boil the water if you need to drink it. You never know when the power and water supplies go out. That's a brilliant idea. I never thought about that. I actually have a recipe for making canned saline. If you just leave the salt out and just can the water. That's very interesting. but just keep it. Oh, wow. That is a great idea, Lisa. Thank you for sharing that. Briar Rose says the weather we had seemed normal, lots of snow. Now it's almost gone, but we're all very sick. Oh, yeah, been there, done that. I actually don't have my plant down here anymore. It's upstairs. My geranium, my magic Polish geranium, I don't know if it's like a cross between something else or if it's just a heritage geranium. It's upstairs though. Come to find out, they're toxic to dogs. And we noticed our German Shepherd, one of them, not the male, the female. No, not the female, the male. He started dropping weight drastically. I mean, in a few days, you could see his ribs and his spine and his hips, and we were like, "What is this?" And the doofus kept going over to the plant and sticking his face in the plant. So it's upstairs now. It has its own window. It's up by the big slider where the sun can come in and it can get what it needs and stay away from my dogs because my dogs do not go upstairs. So that was fun. But that geranium has changed so many things for us. Ear infections, sinus infections, coughs and colds. It's been incredible for I think it's the closest thing we could find was a rose scented geranium. We were making teas with it, and I made a poultice, put that on Bella's chest. It made a huge difference. Look into the wet sock method. I don't know if you guys have heard of this or not, but apparently I have not tried it, but it works better than any decongestant and it has none of the nasty side effects. So what you do is you need 2 pairs of socks for whoever you're going to use this on, 1 thin pair of cotton socks, and then 1 thick pair of wool socks. The idea is that you want your feet to be hot before you do this. So whether you need to sit with your feet in warm water, hottish, warm water, or if you're in bed already and your feet are nice and toasty, you're going to take these thin cotton socks and you're going to dunk them in ice water. And you're going to wring them out, put them directly onto your feet, followed by the wool socks, and then go to bed. And what it does is it causes your body to have to ramp up its temperature to warm up your feet because of the cold water on there. The wool socks help to keep the water in so that it doesn't get all over your bed and to help insulate. And it causes your body to have to raise your temperature a little bit, and it draws the inflammation down. It does a whole bunch of things. So I haven't tried it yet. Because I don't have wool socks for everyone. I think I might be the only one that has wool socks. My husband might have a pair, but I got to work on that. So that's another thing that I learned. We all need more wool socks. That's one of the main things I probably learned. But apparently it's incredible. So try that. Yeah. So try the thin cotton socks, do the ice water, and then the wool socks go on top of those to try to help. People swear by it. But I honestly would have tried that 1,000 times over versus the red dye 40 in the decongestant that we were taking. That was fun. The detox of that afterwards, especially. Everybody has been stupid sick. Like that is my term for this one, is stupid sick. Melanie says, I learned to be prepared ahead of time. My daughter works retail and said fights broke out with people wanting last minute supplies. Yes, absolutely. I mean, nobody wants to have an emergency, but being ready for any emergency, which means you kind of got to think outside the box a little bit. What could potentially happen? The chances of me having to live through an earthquake, not too bad. Not here. Is it possible? Yeah, sure. Chances of me living through a hurricane up here? Really, really not going to happen. But tornadoes, blizzards, windstorms are all absolutely something that I should consider if this were to happen. Power outages from ice storms that could last. I mean, power outages can last for weeks. How do I live in this house at this season, whatever, every season that you have to live through? How do I do that without electricity? How do I do that without being able to go to the store or anything else like that? So that is Brilliant. Very, very good thinking ahead, learning. Okay, time to take a step back and look and see what I got to do. Donna said, what I learned is everyone take notes and react to the weather possibilities for folks. Wrap and cover exposed pipes. Leave the water on a trickle. Hi, Marina. Yes, there's a bunch of jokes and things, on online shorts and whatnot, where people in Michigan and Wisconsin are like, what's the big deal? We deal with this all the time. Yes, we do. But our infrastructure is different. Our power grids are built to handle the extra draw of running heaters all the time. We have insulation on our pipes, always. There's no option. You do not have pipes without insulation on them. So for the rest of you who live a little bit lower, when our weather comes to visit you, your houses and your street piping, it can't handle it because it's so unusual that you don't generally need to worry about it. So finding out, being, Ryan Hall calls it weather aware, as much as possible so that you know what could potentially happen, thinking outside the box. I don't want you to be a doomsdayer, but look ahead to if this happens. Patera on Appalachia's Homestead was talking about it. They have both city water and well water. And thankfully they did. And they had the ability to switch over to their well because their water line from the city froze and busted at the street. So it wasn't even on their property. It was down at the road that it broke. Hi, Myrick. So that's where the problem actually was. It had nothing to do with them and their preparations for their house. It had to do with the supplies that they were getting in. So they switched over to well and they were totally fine. And not all of us have that option. I don't have that option. I'm on a well only. That's all I have. But I also do have a creek that runs along my property. And I have the ability to filter out what I pull from the creek, or go grab a bucket and dump it in the toilet and it'll flush it, because we have a holding tank that we had emptied, I think last year. It was emptied last year. So got a little bit of time till I have to have that emptied again. Thinking ahead. And yeah, the pipes and leaving the water on a trickle, absolutely. We highly recommend doing that. And I know you're thinking, oh, my water bill. I guarantee you the water bill is going to be cheaper than the plumbing bill when they have to replace your pipes. Because that's no fun. You actually can buy tape that you can wrap around your pipes that's heated if you do have electricity. But insulation, pool noodle type insulation and leaving the water on is excellent advice. It's gone. Tom says we are in the process of installing a whole house generator that will run on natural gas. It will be completed by the middle of January. That's a dog. Hello, doggy. Of course it's a dog. And another dog. Yeah, the doofus who sticks his face in a geranium. Y'all, it's like a constant circus of trying to keep things alive in my house. I kid you not. You know what's funny, Tom? We tried 3 different times. Can someone shut the door, my sweet loves? Yeah, the doggies let themselves in. It's fine. They're fine. It's fine. We tried 3 times to have a whole house generator installed.
Sorry.
3 times. Here, darling, can you give me some more water?
Yeah, I can give you more water.
2 ice cubes.
2 ice cubes.
2 ice cubes.
Why is it specifically 2 ice
because
cubes?
if it's 3, it's too cold, and if it's 1, it's too warm.
You're so picky. You call us picky?
I'm ridiculous. Like, if 3 fall in there, I will pull 1 out and give it to the dogs. I'm like, here. No, it must just be 2. I love you. Now I know where you got it from, right? We tried 3 times. 3 times to get a whole house generator installed. The final time, the manager of the company was like, oh, I totally forgot about you guys. We had already paid them almost $10,000. And he didn't place the order for any of our stuff. Nothing. So we got our full refund back, but seriously? So we took that as God said, you're not going to get this. And we said, okay. What? Because we tried 3 times. It was insane. So I do not have a whole house generator. And I will not be getting a whole house generator because when we tried to reach out again, it was even more of a debacle. And they were like, oh, we're backed up until like 2024 and you could try these people. And I'm like, nope, I'm out. I'm done. So we have gotten, what is it? I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of the battery and the inverter that we have in the hallway.
Oh, I have no clue. I don't even look at the thing.
I know. I can't remember. Can you go take a picture of it? Find the name. Thank you, love. I like what I like. My ice cubes. And it's perfect because it comes out of the fridge cold, but I wanted a tiny bit colder. I want it to last a little bit. Generac was the one that we tried to have installed. I was underwhelmed, to say the least. Yeah. So instead, we're finding other ways to be able to provide power for ourselves. She'll come in and tell me what it is. But yes, if you can do a whole house generator, yep, even if you don't run everything. But yeah, we were gonna get I want to say it was like a 21 or 22 something or other from Generac. I mean, it was a hefty thing. It was going to be awesome, and nope, never worked. 3 times. What the first time that they came out, they came up with some excuse why they couldn't install it. Then the next time we like redid the whole thing. Then the next time that they came in, they were like, "Oh yeah, we can do this." Oh no, we can't do this.
Like Blue Eddy?
Blue Eddy.
Blue Eddy.
Blue Eddy is the.
I think it's backwards.
It might be, but Blue Eddy.
I can flip the picture.
No, it's I have my screen flipped so that
it looks like a mirror.
Cause see, yeah, you see my belief is backwards. Is my belief backwards for you guys or is it right for you guys? Tell me, is it backwards or is it right? Okay, thank you, darling.
You're welcome.
And thank you for my perfect water.
You're welcome.
Oh, see, Crystal said it's right. It's right.
Okay.
We're good. I love you.
Love you too.
So they came out the second time and then they came up with some other excuse why they couldn't install it. They're like, no, we can't do it. And then the third time, the manager was like, oh, we totally forgot. No, I totally forgot. Here's your money back. Like he didn't even offer to make it. He didn't offer to order nothing. He just said, here, I'll give you a refund, a full refund. Sorry. 3 times. I give up. So we got the Blue Eddy and we have one battery. I want to say it was like $3,500 for the setup. It's one big battery. I mean, the thing is big. It's like a full-size cooler and it's heavy. Man, is it heavy. But then we got the inverter too. And we blew a fuse. One of our breakers flipped and we couldn't figure out why. It was the water buckets. Long story. So we ended up just running an extension cord to the TV, all the outlets, all of that stuff over there. And it worked great. So we're trying to figure out how long can it run in the fridge, for example. So I'm going to unplug the fridge. I'm going to run an extension cord through my house. I'm going to plug it into the Blue Eddy and we're going to see how long can it run the fridge. Because we have other little solar packs and things like that we can plug our phones into. Maybe not the computer, but those things. I do want to get the solar panel to charge the Blue Eddy. We just don't have the money for that yet. So we're trying to be strategic about what we're purchasing and what we're spending our money on. But yeah, so I don't have a whole house generator and I don't think I ever will. So I'm sure you will love it. And one of these days when you're using it, please feel free to tell me. It's amazing. Oh, golly. Crystal says, I'm from Northern Ohio. Most of my life has been in South Carolina for the last 5 years. So I understand the layers. Layers are fantastic. You just like take off one, and it's great. Blaze said, I have a wool mattress topper and mattress, warm in winter, cool in summer because it breathes. I did not know. I did not know that. Oh, I'm going to get a grounding sheet, by the way. That's what I'm going to do so everyone stops yelling at me about grounding. Since we're talking about bed attire. You should also leave the cabinet doors open to the sinks to heat and circulate and keeps the pipes warms. Yes. Perfect. The generator people called at the same time you started reading my chat. So rude. We're getting a Generac. Yeah. The children always have energy. People with children should install some type of big hamster wheel thing so the children could generate the house energy. As a bonus, it would cut down on the rough housing. Yes, it would. A giant hamster wheel for the children to just like run on, or hook up a merry-go-round, like one of the old style ones, that I'm sure are outlawed for some reason, in the middle of the living room so the kids can like play on it and generate heat. I have solar panels with a Generac battery backup so that it powers all 3 of my outlets if the power goes out. That's what we were going to do. Okay, that's fine. We won't do that. It's okay. Necessity is the mother of invention. Yes, it is. The unit is installed. The gas company already altered the gas meter. Generac just called to schedule cutting holes in the walls and the ceiling and the running of the gas line from the opposite side. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. It's buffering. Is it buffering? It might be buffering. That's sad if it's buffering because there's little dots. Try to text. I'm going to try to text Blaze because it's not working. Yeah, am I buffering? Because nothing. I can't see anything. Oh, good. I'm fine. But then why? It's weird. It's got like 3 little doot, 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 doot. You put the buffer in there? Oh, I love my people. You guys are my favorite. Here I am thinking I'm stuck. I'm not stuck. I'm good. That was epic. So, how do you even do that? How do you have a buffering emoji? Do I have a buffering emoji? I need to see. Do I have a buffering emoji? I probably don't. Let's see. Buffering. Oh, no characters found. I got nothing. I want to be cool like Tom someday. I don't see it on mine. I don't know how. Oh, wait. I see it. There's the reaction. Oh, what is that? There's so many things. Oh, that's dangerous. I need to not look at that right now. No. Yeah, no, I need to not look at that. It's okay. No more searching emojis. Go away. It's fine. Oh, y'all. I didn't even know that YouTube had emojis. I don't know. I know nothing. But anyways, so that is what I wanted to ask you guys to get one another thinking. Hi, Susanna. What do you need to get ready for? Because guess what? It's going to happen again. Something is going to happen again, whether it's losing power or freezing or even too hot in the summertime. What are some options? Learning how to make a cooler fan with like ice if your air conditioning goes out, if you live in Florida in the summertime. Building one of those, if you've seen those where they like cut out the side of a styrofoam cooler, they fill the thing with ice, then they have a fan blowing into it so that it blows out the other side and it gives you kind of this air conditioned feeling. Things like that, or the little room heaters made out of tea lights and an inverted pot for planting. All kinds of different things. So kind of get creative, look around, think about what could potentially be an issue for you and what you have the ability to do to get ready in case it does happen again, because something is always going to happen again. And we can only do our best to be as prepared as possible in each circumstance. Just like being keto or carnivore, we have to be prepared with our food. We have to have an idea of what we can eat or what we can take with us in many circumstances, including emergency circumstances of ending up in the hospital, having to travel last minute, things like that. So, I just wanted to bring that to your guys' attention and get you kind of thinking about that a little bit. I'm going to definitely do a video on this soon with some more ideas, but just really help people look forward in the future to say what could happen. Like, it's probably not, I'm not going to, prepare for an earthquake. There's not really a whole lot you can do to prepare for an earthquake, honestly. But tornadoes, and power outages and losing water, things like that are all really important things to know and have an idea of what you're going to do in those situations so that you aren't just sitting there buffering when something happens and you're like, I don't know what to do. It's very empowering when something happens and you have steps in place that you can take so that you are able to affect yourself, because sometimes they can't get to you. And in several places, I heard they said, don't call 911 because we can't make it. We will not be able to come. We just can't. So knowing some first aid, having some medical supplies on hand would be very beneficial in those circumstances, because you just really never know what could potentially happen in the outside world to where they cannot help you. Let me see. I'm working on getting a dehydrator so I can dehydrate meat quicker. Made your oven method pemmican. It was good for the first time, but it took way too long to dry. Mine was almost 24 hours. It takes way too long. I completely agree. Wendy said, never park a car in winter with less than half a tank of gas. You never know if the gas station will have power. And your gas cap freezes. Oh my gosh, that would be terrible. Gas is going back up. It's shooting back up. The lowest it got here was $2.52. And in 24 hours, it jumped 30 cents. Going back uphill on that roller coaster again. So anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. I have a bajillion things that I need to get done today, but I wanted to get in here and kind of get you thinking about stuff. Please let me know down below if you're watching the replay. Let me know you're watching the replay and what did you learn so that we can help support one another, because something else is going to happen. It always does, and it always will. Please hit the like button on this video so that we can let YouTube know that this is something that people might want to be thinking about. Because I went from -7 to 40 in 5 days. Get ready for that. Holy cow. I'm going to go feed my animals, and I will see you guys on the next live. Bye, everybody.